Warehouse and inventory management. This is one of the important subdomain in supply chain management. If you are at entry level or mid-level or senior level, managing warehouse and inventory is an effective way provides you a path for your career. Even if you are a fresher or college student entering into supply chain, knowing the concepts of warehouse and inventory is going to provide you career path or even make an entry into supply chain. Okay, let me explain the program on warehouse management. We will be having nearly 10 to 12 sessions on warehouse management and possibly 3 to 4 sessions on physical inventory management. Today we are going to learn a basic introduction on warehouse management. Warehouse is a temporary place to store inventory and it is going to serve as a buffer in the supply chain, matching the product availability to consumer demand. So you know there are a lot of fluctuation one side on the customer and the other side on the supplier. So this storage is going to act as a buffer where we are going to store some extra material apart from the cycle stock. The next function is to facilitate movement of goods from supplier to customer. So sometime it may directly from supplier to customer, but most practical way is to go to warehouse, because there you can do some value addition, including consolidation and deconsolidation kind of work in warehouse. The main purpose of warehouse is to provide customer service level, and that's where need to have these warehouses near to the customer and keep all the item required to the customer, so that when there is an order you are able to provide them quickly to the customer. But you may see by having a warehouse, you will be doing a lot of trade-off. Trade-off means when you reach number of warehouses, of course you are going to increase the cost. The cost can be in the form of warehouse rating or lease cost. It could be operating people cost, even the material handling cost. Efficiency versus responsiveness. Efficiency means whatever cost of operation should be minimum, but the response should be high. So you can see each one of this is a conflicting area. This when you need warehouse expert to handle the situation. But on the other hand, you are going to improve the customer service level. But by each of the day you are going to recover all these money. What you are spending is the point in the warehouse operation. So you may also come under pressure to reduce the cost to improve the speed and provide a better service to the customers all at the same time. That's where we are talking about trade-off. Cost versus service. What is the cost of operating this warehouse and the cost of providing that service to the customer? Is the customer willing to provide such a service? Storage capacity versus speed of retrieval. We will have a pressure to occupy the warehouse 100%, but if you occupy all the space inside warehouse, both vertically and horizontally, then retrieving the items becomes a problem. We have to use material handling equipment like forklift, but in such case the idle warehouse space occupation could be 85% or 90%, because safety could be a big consult here. So this is trade of which warehouse executive has to handle it. Speed versus accuracy. Always there is a pressure on increasing the speed, thereby reducing the time for delivery, but it should not compromise on the accuracy of the operation. Inventory versus availability. You should make sure that all the inventory is available, but at the same time minimum of inventory. Here we call that as a inventory optimization. Efficiency versus responsiveness. Efficiency means whatever cost of operation should be minimum, but the response should be high. So you can see each one of this is a conflicting area. This when you need warehouse expert to handle the situation. Especially if you are mid or senior level, you might be facing this kind of issues. Of course in our program we are going to see in the form of supervisor or executive level, and managerial level quality of education. This is where you are going to face this kind of issues and you should be in a position to handle this trade-off or conflict. Volume purchase versus storage cost and availability. Purchasing what to buy a huge quantity, because of a discount at the same time. You need to have the space availability, and you have to take care of storage cost. So these are the trade-off, which access warehouse executive, you must handle it at the same time. You should also know the difference between store and warehouse. Store is a place which is attached to manufacturing plant, possibly it's inside the plant, whereas warehouse is something which is outside the manufacturing plant. But whatever concept we are going to discuss in the program are equally applicable both to store and warehouse. Of course warehouse can also be called as distributor center or procurement center, in case of e-commerce platform. Challenges: improving efficiency and productivity whilst reducing the cost. You have to show both this efficiency and productivity at the same time, less cost. Improving quality and accuracy. If you are mid or senior level, you may be already facing these kind of issues. We are going to see the tools and techniques, how to handle this kind of challenges. in the warehouse management. Reducing lead times from customers. This is one of the biggest challenges, especially when we talk about e-commerce and Q-commerce. The customer, as soon as make a payment, they are expecting delivery. Technological advancement. Technological advancement is a form of tracking or data capture, for example, RFID or IoT, or even softwares like WMS, TMS. All this are coming into operation. Workforce availability. The biggest challenge nowadays is the people want to work in a warehouse. Of course, they are happy to work in a completely automated warehouse, which is available mostly in Western countries. But in India, due to labor cost less, more of manual work, so we don't go for full-scale automation. You may have a working environment, which is more of physical in our work environment. So this could be one reason where people do not want to work in the warehouse kind of environment. Health and safety. Safety is the biggest constraint because you have a moving object like forklift, and we are going to also load or save the load higher level. Maybe sometimes you may see the warehouse occupying 10 meters to 12 meters high, so that the safety is important issue. Effects on the environment. This is the one more growing problem. How do you manage the environmental concern? One could be noise, maybe due to warehouse operation or the vehicle coming in and going out. Maybe we are doing packing and unpacking, so if there is a community surrounding this warehouse, then you should see how you can minimize the noise. When it comes to pollution, one of the important thing is the polluted from the vehicle, or even if you are using generators set, then that could be a nuisance to surrounding. Apart from that, we use lot of packaging material. It could be wood, or cardboard, or paper material. So the disposal of such thing could be also a serious concern. So these are the challenges which as a warehouse executive we need to handle it effectively. 7 R's supply chain. As for as the basic requirement of warehouse, we need to meet these 7 R's of supply chain. For example, we need to provide right product in right quantity to the right customer in the right place at the right time at the right condition and right price.